Good evening. Is this on? Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Lowndes County Democratic Party meeting of March the 5th. If you would stand, please, and we would have a moment of silence. We have a moment of silence for our community itself. We dodged the bullet this weekend with the tornadoes, but we have families who are in need, and if we would take a moment to remember them, think about how we might be able to help them, and also, of course, as always, remember those who serve our country so bravely. Thank you. And the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. When you came in, you should have gotten an agenda and the meeting minutes from the February meeting. If you have had time to review them, if there are any corrections or additions or deletions, we are now providing these meetings online on our YouTube channel, so you can review them afterwards if you had some question about something that you saw here. That's all in the name of transparency. All of our government business should be done openly and available. Are there any additions or deletions, corrections to the February minutes? I would entertain a motion for approval. And a second? All in favor, say aye. Thank you. I have the financial report. One moment. Jim Parker, our treasurer, is at work this evening, but he reports that the balance on February the 1st was $1,064.03, and the ending balance on 2/29 was $530.78. Now, this is not unusual that we have, this is the low part of the year for us where we sort of come along until we have our fundraiser in the summertime. So we get a lot of money in the summer and then it dwindles down until we start having people have memberships. So if you haven't paid your membership dues, that helps us be able to pay the rent. Or if you'd like to make a donation, you can make that to Lowndes County Democratic Party. It helps us to pay our $200 worth of rent, our $100 worth of phone and internet, and a little bit of supplies. We do not get any funding from the state party. We do not get any funding from the national party, which is actually pretty cool because then the state and national parties can't tell us what to do. We just get to do what we do. So that's our financial report. I would love to recognize some elected officials, and hopefully after this next election cycle, we will be doing that again. We will be having democratically elected officials in the State House that we will have coming to our meetings. Our chairperson's report, I will first call Lou McClendon, membership. Oh, before I do that, though, I have a tidbit for Elliot. Elliot, you asked me how many members we had. Last year, we had 70 people pay membership dues, 70. This year, 12 of those have re-upped. So, and not everybody pays their dues at the beginning of the year. So 70 over the course of that last year, and so far 12 have paid this year. So there's the answer to your question. Lou.
Man alive. Nobody said, let's try it again. Good evening, everybody. You know, I was speaking at a church the other week, and nobody was answering about like you were a few minutes ago. And I told that church that I knew that when Christ came back, they would be in the first bunch to greet him. And I said, and I can prove it because the Bible said the dead in Christ rise first. so anyway, let me tell you about membership. We have to make a push. And one of the things I would like to tell you this evening is that because the Republicans are making fools of themselves, do not mean that we have a right to lay down on the job. Are you listening? Let us not lay down on the job. There are so many talking points that we have that we can use. And I would like for each of us, in your own mind, get yourself a little talking point. We used to call them elevator conversations. Now, what an elevator conversation is, you get on the elevator at the 5th floor, and you're going to get off on the 2nd floor, which means you will probably never see this individual again. So everything that you're going to say, you have to say it with the hurry up. And you have heard enough things that will give you good elevator conversations. One of the reasons this place is not full, this place is not overflowing, because sometimes we are not proud of who we are, and we are not proud of the banner that we walk behind. What I'm telling you is, whatever your specialty is, whether it is the unions, whether it's the police, the fire department, whether it is the teachers. I was talking to a fella, and he was telling me how bad, how horrible these teachers are in Lowndes County. And as the conversation went on, I asked him where he was from. He told me he was born and raised here. I asked him where was he educated. He said he went to Valdosta High. I said, I figured that. And so these are some things we need to understand. You do not have to hold your head down because you are a Democrat. Because you are a Democrat, let me tell you something. They don't even know how to fight. You know, who was the fella that said, I don't belong to any organized political party? I'm a Democrat. We know how to fight. We know how President Lincoln said those Democrats, all they do is squeal and fight all night long. And the next morning, all you have is more little Democrats. So what I'm saying to you folks, we've got to have more little Democrats. We've got to continue with a full court press. We've got to move forward, because if we do not move forward, if we become complacent, they're going to sneak in. It's a long time between now and November. And anything can happen between now and November. We've got to keep our guard up. We've got to look for opportunities to speak, whether it's church gatherings, whether it's social gatherings, whatever it happens to be. We've got to bring people in. And when people are sitting here talking about they've been laid off from their job, that's a prime opportunity for you to say, and we need you down to help us. We need you to get some votes out. We need you, we need you, we need you. Sometimes folks don't come because they've never been asked. We've got to let these folks know that there's no better time to join our party. There is no better time to join this association than whatever time you are talking to them. Let them know we need the help. 2010, we had sat on our butts, pardon my French, ladies, and we did not get up, we did not go out, and as a result of that, you've got 34 states that have put dampers on the voting rights. We have got to get out. We have got to fight the good fight. We don't have to curse them out. We don't have to talk about their heritage. All we've got to do is show the figures. When people are telling you that you don't need a pay raise, your kids don't need to go to college, you don't need any of these things, but they need a tax reduction. And put it in their face, let them see it. Some of these people walking these streets don't have 2 dimes in their pocket. Talking about, I'm a Republican. That fool can't even spell Republican. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of who you are. Do a little bit of work every day. Start a little journal. And at the end of the day, write in that journal how many individuals have you talked to that day. Find out if this is working for you. When we have people that are constantly saying that times are bad. Yes, times are bad. We all know that. Tough times do not last. Tough people do. So let's get it together. Let's move on. Hold your head up. Remember who you are. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll have an elections report from Dr. Dennis Marks.
This is an important year for elections starting tomorrow. Tomorrow is the presidential preference primary. It'll be in precincts tomorrow. If you have not already early voted, please go out and vote. Please take a Democratic ballot. Your hand will shrivel if you take a Republican ballot. And please vote for President Obama. He's the only one on the Democratic ballot, but we want to do this as a show of support for the president, to let folks know that the Democratic Party is alive and well in Georgia, that this is a purple state and not a red state. So please go out and vote for the president tomorrow. That's assignment for March. Assignment for April is the Jefferson-Jackson dinner, going to be in Atlanta on April the 28th. Featured speaker is Bill Richardson, so a national figure coming to Georgia, and this is the big fundraiser for the state party. Both the local party and the state party need your support because this is the way that we work to qualify candidates at the local level and at the state level, and have good candidates who support democratic principles. We usually have at least a table at the Jefferson-Jackson dinner. In the past, we've had 2 or 3 tables. But if you would like to go to the Jefferson-Jackson dinner, there's a sign-up sheet at the table at the door. Please sign up. Let's get a good representation from Lowndes County. Let's let the folks in Atlanta know that we're here and that this is an important Democratic bastion. In May 23rd to 25th, is the qualifying for candidates. Qualifying for state candidates takes place in Atlanta. Qualifying for local candidates takes place here at the Board of Elections. We have lots of positions that are open at the state level, in the legislature, both Senate and House. At the local level, half of the county commission is up for election. All of the county officers are up for election. If you are interested in contributing to the community by becoming a candidate, please talk to Gretchen or Laverne Gaskins or myself. We need good Democrats to run for office. Excuse me. And then in July, our annual barbecue and fundraiser will have all the Democrats at the barbecue. We're not going to roast them. The barbecue, Gretchen tells me, is July the 5th. And so please put that on your calendar as well. And then, of course, all of this is building to the election on November the 6th. So we've got important things to do this year. Appreciate everybody coming out and helping and getting involved. This is going to be a good year for Democrats. We see what the Republicans are doing to each other. At this point, we can just step aside and let them bloody each other up, and then we're going to go on to win in November. So keep up the good work. Thank you.
Our next report would be from Laverne Gaskins, our qualifying chair, but she is not with us this evening. So I will just reiterate that if you are interested in running for office, any office, school board, county commission, coroner, just let us know, and we'll make sure that you have the information that you need from the Secretary of State site, from the ethics site, to get that ball rolling. So now the chairman's report. The chairman reports that Georgia deserves better, and that we should elect Georgia Democrats. We took a group of folks over to see Newt the other night across the square. We had quite a nice little contingent of people with these signs who walked around in the crowd and displayed them proudly, just like people were displaying Ron Paul or Newt Gingrich signs. We were displaying Georgia Deserves Better signs. And it was interesting. We ran into a political reporter, and she said we were the only Democrats that she had seen at a Newt event in Georgia. So we are doing our job down here. We're proud. We ran into a variety of new people that we didn't know there and told them about the meeting. I also had the opportunity to be on the radio this morning, and I made a giant mistake when I was on the radio. I filmed the radio broadcast, and it's on the channel now, and you can listen to it. And when the fellow said, "So you're in the political season now, and what events do you have coming up?" I said, "Well, we're going to register people on Saturday at the Azalea Festival." But I forgot to say that we were having a meeting tonight. So here I was on the radio, and I just didn't do it. But anyway, people will know that we'll be registering voters at the Azalea Festival. RL has a sign-up sheet there. Please just sign up for 2 hours either on Saturday or Sunday. The setup of the tent, we got that covered, but we do need to have somebody there all day long, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. If you sign up for 2 hours, it makes it easier for everybody. All right, so our special topic tonight is community outreach. I want to talk a little bit about the Blue Georgia training that we had over the weekend. And then I'm sorry to report that Hector Casada, who was here last month and spoke to us quite fervently, is quite ill today, and he has said that he would not want any of us to suffer from what he's suffering from, so he is not with us tonight. But first I'm going to tell you about a little bit about Blue Georgia, and then Renee's going to talk to us about outreach. The Blue Georgia Training Academy came to South Georgia, the farthest south they've ever been. They were to Macon last year, and they've been in Athens. And they gave us training all about all different kinds of things in terms of running campaigns, how we can more effectively run campaigns. One of the things that the Democratic Party does is it identifies candidates, and it qualifies candidates, and then it gets the voters out to go vote for those candidates. What the party doesn't do is run campaigns. Candidates run campaigns. And this was really great training for all of us to know better how to help candidates run campaigns. We learned about field campaigns overview. We learned about working with labor. We learned about fundraising, making the ask. So if you're interested in getting together with somebody that went, we had about 30 people there. If you're interested in learning more about what we learned about, by all means, let me know, and I will match you up with somebody to learn about that stuff. There's going to be a Blue Georgia training in Albany, probably sometime in April. So if you didn't get to go to this one and you want to go, there'll be one in April in Albany, and we're planning on taking a bunch of people up there because it's 3 tracks, and you don't get to go to all the things. So if you went to the introductory section this time, then you need to go to the more advanced things next time. In the past, we've had themed years. In 2009, we had the theme of Democrats in Action. In 2010, we had Turn Georgia Blue. That didn't work out very well for us. In 11, we had Democratic Values, and that did work really well for us. People identify with that theme. The state party has a Georgia Deserves Better theme this year. I'm open to using that if we can't come up with anything better, but I think we probably can come up with a better theme ourselves. So if you have some idea about what you'd like to theme our barbecue about and what you'd like our talking points to be, let me know. One of the things that we need to do better is to, as Lou said, reach out into the community and talk to people. What's our 2-minute pitch? When John was quizzing me last night before I went on the radio this morning, he's like, what do you want them to know? What do you want people that hear you on the radio to do? And I said, well, I want them